Out with the old and in with the new. Before we could actually slide it back into place, I had to clean. Oh my goodness, friends, it was so bad. The washer and dryer we had pretty much been there the entire time that we've lived here, 11 years, and I've never moved them. And the driveway to our house is actually gravel, and we have a ton of trees, and so the leaves are constantly on our deck and blowing in our back door, even though I sweep constantly through the fall time. But it generates a lot of dust, a lot of dirt, and I guess it had just kind of gotten blown in with the wind throughout the course of the years. Oh, it was just awful. I scrubbed everything, sprayed everything down with cleaner, even sprayed and cleaned where the cabinets were because it was dusty behind them as well, and made it feel a ton better. Thankfully, I was able to do all of the scrubbing and cleaning while my son was playing with my husband out in the yard, which was a huge blessing. I wanted to get more shots with the men delivering the washer and dryer unit, setting it up, bringing it into the house, as well as taking the old ones out. However, they got to the house as soon as my son was waking up for the day. They came very early. And with that being said, I was getting him up, changing him, and so I missed being able to set up my camera for all of that. But I'm letting you guys see what I was able to capture, and most of it was cleaning. I was so shocked with how fast they were able to get all of that done, including my husband pulling down the cabinets. All of that was done by the time I come out. Are you guys having issues with stink bugs too? I'm seeing them in the shots as I'm editing. They are so bad at our house. It's crazy. There's the unit in place. Friend, it is an exciting day here at Homemaker in the Making. We have a new washing machine and dryer. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Ashley, and this is Homemaker in the Making, where I document my journey leaving corporate America and coming home to be a homemaker to my 1-year-old son and my husband, as well as our 2 fur babies. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Even though this looks totally different and a little bit of a mess at the moment, I am so excited to have a functional washer and dryer. We have gone so long trying to limp along a washer and dryer, really for the past year. That has just not been working. It's not slinging the water out, and so the dryer's having a hard time drying it. I was having to wash our clothes sometimes twice because it was keeping a mildew smell in the clothes because it wasn't slinging the water out. And then when I would put it in the dryer, it would take 3 times of 60 minutes to dry our clothes just for one cycle of clothes. And with a little one running around, that just was not cutting it anymore. Trying to juggle remembering to turn the dryer back on to run it for the second and third time was just getting a little bit defeating, to be honest, because I felt like I never could actually complete this task, and then we were behind on towels and clothes and the things that we were needing because they smelled mildewed, and then I had to start the whole cycle all over again. So we thought about it for a really long time, and I did some research, and our house is really small. We live in about 1,200 square foot. That is with the garage. So really our house is probably 1,000 square foot maybe. And so I try to have as many spaces that I can put cabinetry and extras for storage as possible. And so I've dreamed of the day where I could maybe have either a stackable washer and dryer right here on this side of the wall, and then turn this whole entire side of my laundry room into cabinetry space, storage space. And so we really thought about it for a while about what kind of machine to get. Stackable washer and dryer. My mom has them. I know many people that do and really like them. And then we had some friends who also had this unit, which is the GE Profile One and Done. It is a combo washer and dryer unit. And I was really kind of on the fence, to be honest, about it for a really long time because it's a lot of money. And I really did not want to splurge on that amount of money and then the unit not do well because we really could not afford to replace it again. It's a big investment for our family with the fact that I'm no longer working and having my income coming in. And so I really wanted to make a good option, a good decision for our family. So my husband and I talked about it. We did our research. We went to Lowe's multiple times, talking to the people there. We've talked to our friends that have this unit. They've had it for, I guess, maybe it's either a year or 2 years now, maybe 2. But they really seem to like it. and we decided to take the plunge. With having a little one running around, I wanted as much help as possible to be able to get the chores done in a timely manner. And I love the fact that I can literally just put these in here, and from wash to dry and the ding timer telling me that everything is done, I only have to touch it once, and then the second time to fold it, hang it up, and put it away. And so I just love that I removed that extra step, and hopefully this is gonna eliminate the fact that our clothes were being mildewed. So I thought that I'd bring you along. I have done, this is my second load of laundry in here now. I got a couple clips of the day that we were actually bringing it in, but not much. The guys that came, we did pay for delivery for the unit, just because with the little one, it's hard to try to do any of that. I'm not really able to help my husband because I'm watching my son. So to eliminate that part of it, we did pay, it was like $39 to have them deliver it, which to me, the weight of this, the fact that they put it together, because we did buy the stand unit. We did buy the drawer base that came with it too for storage for all of the laundry needs. And because I liked the fact that it made it level to be able to get out my clothes. We purchased this with our own money. This is not sponsored in the slightest. It would be fabulous if it was, but it's not. So we paid for this with our own money, and we paid the $39 for them to come out and deliver it. They were so nice. They did such a great job. My husband actually, when they got here, my cabinets were still in place. And as you can see now, they're not up there where the strip is. I had cabinets here that I had all of my organization stuff for inside the house, little odds and ends that you need periodically. And when they got here with this and we put the base under the unit, it was one inch, maybe 1 or 2 inches, that it was actually going to be over top of the cabinets. So they had to go. And so the guys were super nice. Technically, they never wait on much of anything from my understanding, because they have so many deliveries to make. It's like a third-party company that delivers for Lowe's. And so they come in, they put it together, they set it in the house, set it up, and they leave. There is no waiting time. But they were nice enough to let my husband rip out these cabinets. They put together the base, which had to be built, and they screwed it together to the unit. Let me show you what that looks like. So it actually bolts to the unit here, and so it is really secured and in place, and it's like that on both sides. I was definitely a little sad to see my cabinets go, just because, again, we don't have a ton of space, but eventually later on down the road, when we're able to save up for it, we will build some cabinets around this and house it in here, get our storage back for our small house. There's going to be some plumbing that's going to eventually have to be done as well, because this is not how this should be. But we live in the country, and somebody, if you know, you know, they rednecked this together evidently to make this work. So my husband will have to eventually replumb all of this, and we bought the kit when we bought the washer and dryer to be able to do that. But right now we just needed to be able to wash our clothes and dry them and move on with life. So I thought I'd bring you along as we put a load in here. I really love the light inside of it. You can see really well. I just love that this is right here. As I'm pulling out and hanging up clothes, it is so easy. You're not bending over. You know, it's really the small things in life. I was very thankful for the washer and dryer that we had. We actually had that washer and dryer for, goodness, we've been married 12 years this year. And so 11 or 12 years. We've been married 11 years this year. And so we have had that washer and dryer the whole entire time that we've been married. The washer came from my husband's mother, and she had it for a really long time before we received the washer. I want to say that Curtis said it was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years. So we're looking at like is that like a 25-year-old washer that we had, which it did great while it lasted. And my husband had repaired it a couple times because it was getting rusty inside, and so he had pulled it apart, sanded it down, and painted the top of the washer with some kind of black paint that kept it from rusting. And so it was a two-toned washer, which was fine. It still worked. I didn't care. And we kept rolling with it, but then it got to where it wasn't slinging out the water, and that was where the issue came. But he's replaced several parts on it through the course of the year, so it's really served our family well for a very long time. The dryer came from my mom. Oh, my little one is awake. The dryer, I think, initially came from her too, but it went out. And at the time that it went out, my mom was buying a new front load washer and dryer. And so she gifted us her dryer. And that has lasted a long time. We've had to replace the fuse in it a couple times, but nothing major, something very small. And it was a blessing too. And so we've gone 11 years married with washers and dryers that were gifted to us and used, which was a huge blessing because at the time we just didn't have the money to be able to invest into that at that moment. And so it came time for us to actually purchase a washer and dryer. And I'm praying that this one will be a blessing to our family. So far, right now, it is amazing. I only have one little one running around, and I feel like the day goes by so fast. And I barely get all of the activities done. I don't like calling them chores, per se. Especially as I'm thinking about teaching him how to do chores and stuff. I want to maybe call them activities. I don't know. It seems less offensive, maybe. Or less likely you'd have a meltdown about doing activities instead of chores. I could be wrong. But, yes, sir. I know, we're doing laundry together, aren't we? Yes, we are. We're doing laundry. We are blessed to be able to do laundry that smells good, aren't we? It is such a blessing. It's not mildewed. It's dry. We only had to touch it one time to get it into the washer and dryer. And so this has just been truly such a blessing. Nothing that I necessarily wanted to spend that much money on. We did find them on sale. And so typically, I'll put the numbers over here. I think I took a picture of the sticker. I think that they're initially $2,900, which is the price that we paid for the small car that we have in our yard that we drive. Typically $2,900, but it was on sale $900 off. So it was like $2,098. And then they had an additional $100 off. So that took it down to $1,998, didn't it, little man? Yeah, took it down to that. And then we were able to get an additional discount because my husband has a pro account through his construction. So with all of that being said, I think that it ended up, I'm not really sure how that discount came out, but I think it was close to like $1,100 off of the washer and dryer. We were actually going to wait for the washer and dryer another month if ours had not messed up so bad. Initially, we were going to wait until Black Friday because after talking to the people at Lowe's, they said that that's typically the biggest sale that they have is Black Friday, and the unit actually goes down to $1,700 total. But our washer and dryer was just not cutting it. And so instead of waiting, we opted to go ahead and get it. It would have been an additional $200 off of the bottom sticker price before his discount. But we just opted to go ahead and do it because my sanity was taking a toll because of how much I was having to redo our laundry. In fact, what we're getting ready to do now is to redo more laundry that I have already done. So I want to do our whites. My husband's whites have not been truly white in a very, very long time. So I'm curious to see how it does in this and if it even brightens it at all. But I'm going to do a white load, which it has a white option. I have to keep an eye on my climber. He's over there looking out the window. We're going to have to go play outside again in a minute. But we're going to do a white option. And I've got some bleach in there, but I think I'm going to add some more. This thing, which I think is so, so cool, you can put like, I think it's 32 ounces of laundry detergent and so many large ounces of fabric softener, but the bleach has to be individual dosed each time. But so you can just pour that in there. You don't have to worry about doing anything but adding bleach when you need it to the loads. And so that's nice because since I do have it on this riser for this drawer for extra storage that I wanted, I cannot reach up here without having to climb onto a ladder to add the laundry detergent. But I think it's like monthly that you have to do that. I guess it depends on how many loads you do. But I'm going to go ahead and throw our whites in here. So I had just washed all of these in our old washing machine, but they don't smell fresh and they have a little bit of a mildew smell to them. And when you wear them and it's hot outside and you sweat, they smell even more mildewed. And so we're going to rewash all of these in this new machine. I don't know if you guys can tell it. They're very dingy looking, and I'm curious to see if they come out any whiter this time. The inside of our washer was rusting, like I was telling you. It was rusting everywhere, but I kind of wonder if some of this discoloration was not from the fact that, oh, thank you, you gonna give it to Mommy or keep it? He has a couple clothes hangers that he carries in here for Mommy from the closet to help put all this stuff, hang it back up, don't you? Yeah. And so I'm gonna got a couple more whites in this basket I'm gonna grab, and we're gonna try this out and see if we can get Daddy's whites any whiter, or if they're just stained. It could very well be stained from the rust. Maybe. I have some of my whites too. Our dog bowls and stuff are in here for watering and feeding our pups. And so I do not let my son in here because he'll go straight to the food bowl, won't you, bud? Say, I like to play in that. Thought it was a little water bowl for me. Okay, watch your hands. Here, come stand right here. Can you get your clothes hanger? Let Mommy put these whites in here. Hold on. 1 second, 1 second. You are a stinker. Okay, there we go. Let Mommy start this load, and then we'll go play. Okay, so there's all of our whites. And that's crazy because that would have filled up my washer before because I had the agitator in it because it was one of the old ones. So there is our load of laundry. And I don't know anything about a front load washer and dryer. I don't know if the new ones have this or not, but this specific one, the reason I opted to get it because I had heard so many people say not to because of the mold buildup in the drum of the washer, because the water sits in here. This microban is supposed to help stop that. So you have to make sure that there's no laundry inside of this part itself. Close it. I'm going to go ahead and add some additional bleach here. Okay, so liquid bleach, Max Line, and I've already pre-filled the detergent. It says Smart Dispense fills up to 50 ounces of detergent, so you can put that in there pre-filled. My bleach is now in there, and my Smart Dispense fabric softener does 32 ounces of fabric softener, and that is also pre-filled. So there's both of those. He is chasing my dog with a small broom. I'll have to go get him in just a second. Turn it on. Need to take the sticker off. There we go. New feature, introducing the new pet hair feature. Select enable now to get started. Enable pet hair. We'll go ahead and turn it on. So we're going to do a white load. It automatically has preset settings. So it's a normal wash, hot temperature, high on the drier side. It's got the pet feature selected and the dry sensor selected. I have smart dispense for the detergent and the fabric softener both selected. Is she not wanting to play with you, buddy? Okay. And you can change the soiling. I'm actually going to do heavy soil just to see if we can get an extra amount of that rusty looking stuff out of here. And we'll go ahead and hit play. It uses very, very little water. That's another reason we went with this is it's almost like hardly no water that fills into this drum at all. It doesn't float in here like you see on the other front load washers. Like I've seen them actually fill up with water. This never fills with water. It just wets the clothes, cleans them, and then dries it out pretty quick. This actually locks too, which I guess maybe the other ones do as well. I'm not familiar with them. And so now it's starting, and you'll see the clothes tumble in there, but it never ever fills the whole drum with water, or even half of the drum or a third with water. It's really interesting. My husband sat here and watched it because when it dumps the water, it pumps it out super fast, and he wanted to make sure that it didn't overfill our pipe because that setup is rednecked over there. But the only thing I'd have to say is that if you get the unit, if you're looking at getting this unit, the riser makes it shake. I think that if it was on the ground, it would not do that. I think that it would be not shake as much and be as noisy. It doesn't bother me. I value the extra space, and so I would rather have the space for storage and deal with the little small amount of time that it spins high and has that noise. But other than that, I just absolutely love it. So it says it's going to take 3 hours because I did do a heavy load. It's going to wash it and dry it. It beeps to let me know when it's done, and this will be the third load that I've done in it, and I think it's absolutely awesome not having to come back and flip and remember to do it. Ever since having a child, I feel like I've lost half of my brain and I can't multitask as good as I used to do. And so not having to worry about this once it's in here, I know that it's going to be done. I know it's going to smell good. It's not going to sit here and mildew, I think is amazing. I love the fact that this can be pre-poured like that. And it should be good for quite a while, if not a month. I'll keep you posted on how long that ounce wise for the detergent and fabric softener lasts for us. And it does have like monthly maintenance. It has an app, and the app will actually tell you, hey, your clothes have been sitting in the dryer for this amount of time. You need to get them out so that they're not wrinkly. But it also tells you on the app, hello, sir, I see you. What are you doing up there? He's sitting on the couch, but he's sitting. You're being a good boy. I'll be right there. You do have to clean the filter. They say once a month or once every 2 weeks, really. And you have to stick a pipe down in there, like a filter cleaner. I haven't got one. We're going to buy one on Amazon, I think. Lowe's did not have one. But you have to clean this filter like every 2 weeks just to make sure it's got good airflow, because this is a ventless system. It doesn't have the big dryer pipe. It just stores the lint here. And they say that it's not needed because this is so much more gentle on your clothes that it does not produce the same amount of lint as another dryer. It's also 50% better on water, 50% better on power. This does not hook to a 220, I think is what my husband says, like the standard dryer does, or washer. It hooks to a 110, so it's your typical outlet. And so my husband was for this unit specifically too. One, because it takes up less space, it's more energy efficient on water and power. But secondly is if the power goes out, we could technically hook this to our generator and run it because it doesn't have to have a 210, the stronger power. The other thing that you have to do monthly This part down here, you have to empty this. It does fill up with a little bit of water. I'm not really sure as to why it does that, but I think that even the front loads have to be emptied from what I have seen for some people. So when I have to cycle this and service it for the first time, you and I will do that together. But I wanted to bring you along as I did my first load of whites. I'll come back to you as I take these out, and we'll see if maybe they're a little bit less dingy and how they look coming out. But I have 3 hours and 6 minutes to be able to go do something else and not have to worry about laundry until it dings. And we are going to go start some dinner. I'm going to make 15 bean soup. Wait just a minute, I'm coming. We're going to make 15 bean soup and rice tonight for dinner. So I just wanted to celebrate this with you. It feels like a huge milestone being able to actually get a new washer and dryer, and I'm so incredibly thankful that the Lord provided this for us and that we have good smelling laundry. I did the towels as the first load, which is a big load. Typically I couldn't hardly fit all of our towels for the kitchen and the bathroom into the old washer. I did that as the first run for a test, and when I pulled them out, I gave my husband the first folded towel for him to be able to take a shower, didn't we? We gave him the first shower. We did. The first towel for a shower, and he said, oh my gosh, this smells like a luxury hotel towel. It smelled so good and it felt so good. It wasn't overly saturated with fabric softener from the way that the last washing machine did. It didn't really dispense it well. I never even really put fabric softener in our towels because I felt like it didn't leave them as absorbent. But with the way that this thing distributes it in small, like micro shots, however it does it, because it controls the dispense of it instead of the ball like I was using where it would just, I guess, dump it out at one time, it doesn't feel like it's put a coated on the towels. I know some people are not pro fabric softener, but my husband loves fabric softener, and that's just something I'm not going to get him off of. So it's one of the things that we do around our house, and he really loved the smell. He was very impressed. So I'll come back to you guys in just a little bit when we take these out. I hope you guys are having a great day. So it's spinning really fast now and it's not shaking, but I'm trying to get a video for you guys of when it does shake. And again, I think it's just because this drawer is on here. It's very tall. I think it's like right at 2 foot, and so because it's so tall, it makes the unit taller. I think that's the reason that it's shaking. My friend said that her shakes too, and she has this drawer. But the other people that I've seen that don't complain of any kind of shaking have literally just put this unit straight to the floor, and it does perfectly fine. So I think it's just the fact that it's made it so much more tall and vertical that now it causes it to shake. But it's not terrible. It doesn't do it all the time, as you can see, because it's spinning really fast right now and it's not shaking. But I like the storage, and so because the shaking's not so bad, it's not walking forward that I can tell right now on my floors because of the shaking. So I'm opted to leave this on because I need the space to be able to put stuff. So I'll try to get another video if it shakes again. Hey friend, it is much later in the evening, but we do have our load of laundry done, our whites that we started earlier together. My little one is in the bed, so I'm going to quickly try to unload this and hang up our whites and kind of see what they look like since we ran the load with bleach in it, and see if I can tell a difference in my husband's whites. Like I said, I think that our previous washing machine may have been letting a little bit of rust get into it and kind of dingy the load. To me, the best that I can tell right now, they're not like perfectly bright white, but I do think that they look a little bit less dingy than they did going in. Probably is just that after being washed in our washing machine that we had for so long with the rust, that we're probably just going to need to buy him some new white shirts. But I do think they look a lot better than they did, because they were pretty dingy but they smell good. I can smell the fabric softener. The fabric softener that we bought really smells good. I had never seen this one before, The one I put in here is Downy Gentle and Soft Ocean Mist. Really liked it. Again, not sponsored for any of this stuff, but I just liked it. The other one that we picked up to try is Downy Ultra Soft Lavender and Vanilla Bean. But it's pretty cool because I'd say that it put, well, I think it said it held 32 ounces for the fabric softener, and there's 93 fluid ounces in here total. I just think that's really cool that you don't have to do that each and every time. Something else that I really like about it so far is I love the light. I can see a lot better to get the items out, and I love that it's actually this tall. With my other one, it was low, you know, like most dryers are, and so you had to actually bend over and kind of dig way down low and in the very back of the washer and dryer, well, the dryer, to be able to get it out, to hang it up. And so it's so nice that it's right here, right at level, and so it's just easy to pull it right out. My hangers are right there. It's very, very nice. I'm very thankful. It was nice to be able to put this in. I got busy with my son today. He is crawling all over the place, and so Mama played take me down off of the couch all day long in between all of the activities that I did, cooking dinner, which we had dinner at church tonight. And so we take a meal every third Wednesday, and so I was cooking for that, playing with him, doing our normal routine with him, taking care of him, changing him and all that. But it was nice that I did not have to flip the load while all of that was going on. Was y'all's kids about 13? Well, he'll be 14 months this week. Was y'all's kids climbing at that age? Everybody, like our friends, are telling us that he seems to be like ahead of his age for the skills that he's reaching. And we don't have anything to compare to because this is our first child, but I didn't expect him to be climbing on the couch. And now it's not just climbing on the couch. Now he's trying to climb to the back of the couch, to the big windows that we have in the living room, because our little dog sits up there. And so I think she gives him motivation to try to get to the back of the couch. So it has been a very busy day here at our house. Mama is definitely getting her steps in again. That kind of slowed down after having him, but it is definitely quickly picking back up. So what I did, this looks like a lot of whites, and it is a lot of whites, but it's because I went through our closet and I pulled out every single one of my husband's white shirts and 2 of my white shirts and ran all of them through with bleach and fabric softener, because it seems like with our other washer and dryer, with the way that things were mildewing and how long it was taking to dry, that our whole closet kind of smells mildewed. And so I'm trying to run everything through and get our whole closet to where it doesn't smell like that. So I grabbed all of these at one time. So because I got so busy earlier today, I was not able to get a clip of the washing machine shaking like I told you it does from being on this stand. I've not seen any other videos where I watched about this specific model of washer and dryer that it does that shaking, but they're all on the ground, which would make it lower like a normal washer dryer, which is not a bad thing, but I just really, really like it being up this tall. So I don't know, we're gonna keep going with it and seeing. I did run it on the pet friendly cycle that time because we do have 2 fur babies in the house. One is she's a Yorkie poo, and so she doesn't really shed, but Roxy, our little, she's like a some kind of Chihuahua mix. She does shed. And I can see that it got out pet hair because I put it on the pet cycle. The one thing that they told us was that every time this thing does an update in the software system, it'll ask you if you want to do the update. And when I loaded this cycle, it said that there had been an update with a pet smart feature on this washer and dryer. And typically when you go to Lowe's, the white one that has a smaller drum was the one that said it had a pet feature. But now this washer did an update and also offers that same feature that the white one offers. So that was pretty cool. So I've done a load of whites, I've done towels, and I've done darks. I want to do a gentle cycle and wash my husband's coats that he wears to church. And so we're going to put those in there now, and I'm going to let these run because I'm kind of curious to see how long it takes for a gentle cycle. I'm going to check his pockets one more time. I found a pen in it earlier, but I just want to make sure that they are in fact empty. That's good. Okay, so that one's empty, so we'll put it in there. And I'm just going to wash these two totally by themselves so that they'll get good and clean, but that maybe it'll cut down like on the wash and dry time. It does have like a sensor in it, and so it adjusts to what they need. There's another pen. I'm glad that we're checking. We would have had ink on his jackets. So there's that. Let me check the outside pocket too. These are his favorite coats that he wears on Sunday. So, all right, so here's this. Something else that I want to wash on a gentle cycle. We have a lot of quilts. Like my mom, my grandmother, Curtis's mom made several, and hers are actually by hand. They're super soft, but they do need to be washed. I've just not done that because our other washing machine had the agitator. And even with putting them in this, I've watched this. It does seem to be super gentle, even on a regular load. But I still would like to get like a delicate bag, like a large delicate bag to put our quilts in, just to make sure that they're taken care of, because those are special to us. So we're going to push power. From what I can see so far, if it hasn't updated, it automatically tells you here in opts in. So the pet wash is on there. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, delicates. So it looks like it's going to run for an hour and 57 minutes. It's going to be a light load, cold water, and a low dry. So that makes sense. It's not going to beat it to death. And it's also going to dry on a low temp since it's delicate, so that they don't shrink. So I'm happy with everything that's selected. It's still got my smart dispenses going. So I'm going to hit play. And again, it automatically locks itself and does its thing. I never ever saw this fill up with water with the last load that I did. It's like it just injects just enough water and then tumbles the clothes to wash them, but everything has smelled excellent coming out. And like I said, all of these clothes were really mildewed, and they smell nice and fresh. Nice and fresh now, so that's exciting. All right, well, I think that does it for us today, guys. My little one is already in the bed. I think Mama's going to go get her pajamas on, and I'm going to go get some sleep as well. I hope that you guys have had a great day. And if you have not been told yet today, please remember that you do have value, you are special, and I'm really glad that you're here, friend. I'll see you next time.